Welcome back. Now, if the rising cost of living has crushed your travel dreams, make sure you listen up, because Victoria Rose was 68 years young when she set off backpacking around the world on her own and just on an aged pension. She visited 10 countries in 16 months and says you can do it too. She's with us now from the Gold Coast.
Hi, Victoria.
Hiya, Victoria.
Hey, so happy to be here with you.
So great to chat to you. Can I just say, 68 years old, setting off backpacking around the world on your own. You are my hero. Why did you leave it so late in life to do this to begin with?
Oh, no, I've been a solo traveller for my entire life.
And how has it changed over the years then in terms of travelling when you're young and then travelling when you're moving into the senior years?
Well, I like to have a bit of fun with this, Sarah, if I can. My first solo travel journey was 72 years ago when my mother, as a pregnant 17-year-old, was banished down to Albany in Western Australia to have her baby. And she found a job in a pub down there, and one day she fell down the stairs, and she thought that the pain she was experiencing was the pain from falling down the stairs. So she went to her room, and that was when I burst into the world.
Wow.
On the floor of her room.
Wow.
So that was my first solo journey. Yes, there were no doctors, no nurses, no one around, just me. And it must have been really painful for Mum, because one of my little jokes is that I was born with a science fiction book in my hand, so that must have been a bit awkward.
All right,
Oh,
well, you're obviously an adventurer, so let's talk about accommodation. A bit different to when you first came into the world. When you went around recently and travelled, did you really stay in hostels, and what were they like?
I actually only stayed in one hostel, and that was in Albania. I'd never been to Albania before, and one of the things about travel when you're overseas is the language barrier. Even though when I'm in Italy, they think I'm Italian, when I'm in Spain, they think I'm Spanish. But in Albania, I got to my room, and the room was full of men. So there was just me. But I thought, I'm 68 years old. There are all these young whippersnappers, and they were fabulous. They were really good. It was an amazing hostel. I can thoroughly recommend it. But that was the only time I actually stayed in... Oh, no, sorry, I tell a fib. I was in Turkey for 3 months. And for my last 2 nights in Turkey, I did stay in a hostel because I was in Istanbul and I wanted to go to the Sophia Hagia and the Blue Mosque. But they were the only 2 times.
And they're fantastic. And the reason being is because you traded a lot of labour for a place to stay in a lot of the places that you went. Can you tell us about that? What kind of jobs did you do when you travelled?
So I can happily tell you, when you do this volunteer work when you're away, the platform that I used is workaway.info. And on that platform, you work it out with the hosts how many hours of labour you will do every weekday. So I worked between 3 to 5 hours, and I did things like this. When I was in Spain, I helped a chef. She wanted to promote her cooking retreat, so I took videos of her making her dishes and around her fabulous retreat. When I was in France, I helped a shaman there. She wanted to promote her courses on social media, so we did interviews there. When I was in the UK, I helped a financier, a financial advisor. He didn't know too much about social media, so I helped him with that because I just know a thing or two about how to get yourself known on social media, which is so important if you're in business today.
Yeah, and it's a great way as well to live like a local and see a different side of some of these places. You know, you travelled the world on the aged pension. How did you save money, say, then on transport?
So transport overseas is a heck of a lot cheaper than what transport is here in Australia. Let's go back to Turkey. They don't have trains in Turkey. They have the buses though, and often I would need to catch, so if I'm coming up from Antalya, beautiful place, I recommend to see it. I hope to go back there one day. Travelling up to Istanbul, you have to go on the overnight bus. That's tough because those seats don't angle, but it's amazing how many times I was the only person on the bus who clearly was not a Turkish person.
Well, your story is amazing, and a lot of people would love to follow it as well. We can get more tips on Victoria Rose's Solo Travel YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out there. Victoria, thank you so much for joining us today. Keep travelling, keep smiling, keep enjoying life.
Thank you so much. I do.